Well, an extraordinary year 2020 has been. You don't need me to list over again the many challenges people have faced over the last year, many of them linked to that new phrase in the English language, COVID-19. I certainly can't think of another occasion in my lifetime when a global event has had such a devastatingly direct and personal impact on the life of every individual. Maybe out of that has come a real sense of solidarity, that we can none of us be completely protected from the effects of this pandemic. If a greater sense of human solidarity is one unexpected upside to 2020, it strikes me there are many others. Most of them are minor when you put them in the scales against death and disease, but they're real enough for all of that. I wonder what little gifts 2020 has brought you. When I talk to folk about their experience of the last year, it turns out there are all sorts of things people are grateful for. Being stuck at home, many have discovered local walks and have grown to appreciate their locality more. Some have found an opportunity to develop their creative side, baking or taking up a craft. Those of us who took part in the coffee and chat sessions on Facebook after the Sunday service discovered we had to open up our lives much more than we would normally do. And so there was a sense of being able to get to know people much better. As a nation, we learned to show more appreciation for some of the less well-paid workers in our community, upon whom we nevertheless depend. The care workers, staff in shops, those who work on the front line of the NHS. And many folk have spent more time in the garden this year and are justly proud of the results. And quite a few of us have got to grips with technology in unlooked-for ways, especially meeting on Zoom or some other online platform. Yes, it has its limitations and frustrations, but in my experience, meetings have been shorter and more efficient, and it's allowed scattered families to see more of each other. Thanks to our discovery of Zoom, my 3 siblings and I, including a sister in Australia, have had more face-to-face time together in the last couple of months than in the whole of the previous couple of decades. And the fact that Beverley Minster has been closed to visitors for much of the year has forced us to try and do more outside. Yarn bombing on the railings, the Advent calendar on the builder's hoarding, doing a children's nativity in the secret garden, all of which has provided moments of light relief and has been much appreciated by folk far beyond the regular congregation. And the planet has benefited too, with less traffic on the roads and fewer holiday flights. And having to put our worship online has extended our reach. To give just one example, a year ago there would never have been more than 5 or 6 people at daily morning prayer in the Minster. But now that it's live streamed on Facebook, there are 40 or 50 people joining in every day. And a much wider audience has been able to enjoy the organ improvisations and the songs from the choristers that have been going up on Facebook during Advent. So amidst the more general gloom, we shouldn't lose sight of these mini blessings, the little gifts that remind us any situation has its redemptive side. And that's what I want to carry through into the new year. It's too early to make big plans for 2021. The future's still too uncertain to look very far ahead. And with new strains of the virus, it may be some time yet before we can go forward with any confidence. So in the meantime, let's try to appreciate what we have. Training ourselves to say thank you is a spiritual discipline, especially when it may not be obvious what there is to be grateful for. But the little gifts are there for those who look. like a trail of breadcrumbs through the wood, just enough to reassure us that there is a path and a destination ahead. So as we enter 2021, may you have grace to notice and receive the little gifts, so that you can carry out St. Paul's encouragement to rejoice always, pray without ceasing, and give thanks in all circumstances. And in so doing, may 2021 be for you a happy and peaceful new year.